Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's video has 3 points, and you're going to want to stick around because the third point is a secret as to a combination of 3 things that make bundles so profitable. So let's get into it. When you're first getting started and you're an author, you only really are just working on your very first book. But then you finish it and it's exciting and you start selling that book and it's wonderful. Now, what's the next step? Well, you write another book. Now, ideally, if you're listening to this channel on a regular basis, you will know that you need to write the next book on the same thing you wrote the first book on. So if you're writing like Harry Potter, well, you're going to write the next book in that story because we're building readers and an audience in one niche, right? Or genre if you prefer, but it's focusing in on one thing for which you're delivering value to people. That's why it's also important to choose something that you're interested in that you can keep on producing over time. Okay? So that's something you need to consider. But when we come out with that second book, something magical happens. And that is that we now have 2 books in the same genre for the same niche. They can be combined together. Now, you may have heard of book bundling, this idea of combining books that you've already written together to create new products. But you're wondering, what do I need to do in order to do that? Am I really allowed to do that since it contains the contents of the very first book that you put on the market? Well, that is what we are going to explore in today's video. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Hit the subscribe button if you find this video useful because I want to get this out to as many authors in your position as possible so I can help you not make the mistakes that I made. And in addition, if you check in the description, you can just grab a copy of my free self-publishing checklist to make sure that you're not skipping any of the steps necessary to write books that are going to both draw an audience, get you through the process, and also start making sales on those books. So go ahead and check it out right here below in the description. Well, from my own story, when I first got started, I heard about bundling of books. I had originally seen, I think it was Steve Scott, was one of the first people I saw where he took 3 of his books, he put them together, and then I noticed something, which is that if you buy the bundle, you get a discount because then you don't have to pay. If you add together the costs of those 3 books together, it's more than you would pay if you get it as a bundle, and that starts screwing with my head, and I realized, wait a second, I should definitely buy this book. But then when I started having books, multiple books out, I started playing around with bundles. What if you bundle these 2 books? You bundle these 2 books. And what we do is we find a title that is in common. Now, I obviously made some mistakes on this whole bundling thing. I bundled it up, or bungled. You tell me what's the correct one. I always forget. But too long in Norway outside the United States. My English starts to fall apart. But as I started bundling them together, and you'd find 2 things. For example, my book on habits and my book on sleeping, which again I violated the rule of sticking in the same genre. And then we have sleeping habits. Do you see how this game goes? But whatever the case is, you simply are combining your books together in a way that is going to resonate with your readers, and then they look at it and they go, "Wow, I definitely should possibly maybe get multiples if I already like this author, maybe the bundle's a better way." So I started playing around, and then I began to understand that no, I do not do any new books until the old books are bundled and on sale. Now, I used Uto to do it, which is what I use for all of my formatting, and you can check out below in the description and see my affiliate link for Uto. And if you really need help getting going on that, I also have my formatting course below in the description, which will help get you up to speed on using this amazing tool in order to put your books together into bundles. Because you first have your books formatted correctly, and it's easy just to pull those projects in together, and then we've got our bundle. And I have a special module dedicated to that as well to make sure that it's done super easy with Uto. I've had too many viewers comment that, okay, you talk about this, but how exactly do we do it? Well, I created a course so that you'd be able to just check that out, easily figure this out, and get moving along with your formatting. But the thing is that the perceived value of the bundle, and this is something I thought was very, very interesting, is that the bundles will bring in many times more money because we see that the bundles don't cost. You need to make sure that if you have 2 books together, that bundle is cheaper than the individual 2 books by themselves. And we'll cover the secret tips on that, but it'll be at least $1 for each additional bundle. And then we raise the price for each 6 sales we make. and we drop to the base price after 90 days if we don't get any sales. It is just that easy with regards to our bundles and our regular books, but especially the bundles as well. And so that's the main strategy. And I started noticing these bundles selling better than my individual books. And that made me realize that this was a lost opportunity. But I want to get into it. I'm almost too eager to break into exactly why this matters, because there's a couple things here that you may not have considered with regards to the bundles. And here it comes. How do we make a killing with book bundles? And the answer is we're going to build a pyramid. Now, let's just say you have 4 books, okay? Now, you might be thinking, we already talked about it, book 1 and book 2 in your series or in your same topic, like let's say they were diet books or puppy training or whatever it might be. We put those together and we form a bundle. And then we have the next 2 that we come out with, books 3 and 4. We're going to bundle those together using Uto, like I mentioned. And then we now have ourselves 2 bundles, okay? 2 bundles. And so if somebody had already started reading books 1 and they love it, oh, I love your book 1, then they might go and purchase book 2 by itself and then purchase because that would still be cheaper than the bundle, and then they would purchase your bundle for books 3 and 4, okay? But here is where the magic comes in. If you take those 4 books, right, and we bundle them together in addition, what does that mean? We have books 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we have 1 and 2, and 3 and 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So that gives us a total of 8 books or 7 books in our bundle, which is absolutely fantastic, because that means you wrote 4 books and we have 7 different books we're able to put out there. Now, it depends upon how I put in quotes books, because what do we mean by books? Well, it's a combination of the other ones, but this is a crazy powerful way to take your existing books and milk even more money out of it, and maybe more than you would on the individual ones. And then the key is setting the price right. So you're going to set the price on each additional book. Now, if you've been watching my channel long enough, you know I give the base prices for your Amazon books. You should be making $2 a piece on your Kindle books, and on your paperbacks you should be making $5 profit. Okay, so that is a non-negotiable. That is the starting point we need to work at. And then we're going to, every time we add one more book, one more manuscript to the bundle, we're simply going to raise the selling price by $1. And all the prices in 99 cents. Okay? So if we have a book that's $11.99 as a base price, when you bundle it, now it's $12.99. Okay? But you have to make sure that then you would, yes, if you bundle it. But on the paperbacks, I would say, actually, there was one little adjustment to this. That's with the Kindle books, since they don't raise the price. That doesn't cost you anything more. But on the paperbacks, we want a profit, an additional $1 profit. Okay, so that would mean your profit should be $6, and then your profit should be $7. The reason is because as we bundle these books together, they're getting fatter, and so our profit's going down with that. So we have to cover the additional costs associated with that. But that would be it. So the bundle would be the 6, and then the other thing, like I mentioned before, is every time you get 6 sales on that book within this 90-day period, we're just going to raise the price by $1. Okay, so we get 6 sales, we raise the price by $1. We get another 6 sales, we raise the price by $1. We do not raise the price more than once a day. I have seen people do this, and Amazon has taken half their royalties for the month. They actually made $40,000 in 1 month off of royalties. They were just jumping the price on their books every day, multiple times a day. This will cause them to threaten your account. So do not do that, but once a day is acceptable, okay? And the other thing, the reason why this strategy is sometimes used is because if you raise the prices, there's a delay between when they actually change the prices on Amazon and when the prices were raised on your end. And they will pay you at the higher rate, even though they're still showing it and selling them at a lower rate. But this will get you in trouble if you do it more than once a day, even though they could just stop it with their computers. Amazon does a lot of crazy stuff. You will never find me complaining about Amazon, because if it weren't for Amazon, I never would have gotten started. And maybe you wouldn't either. And so I am very appreciative. They control the rules. We follow their rules, and we pay attention to what is getting people in trouble. But at the same time, we're not doing stupid stuff by not selling stuff and not trying to push sales and not trying to increase prices. So we want to stay on track. So you need to listen to me on this one. I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. Hopefully this is understandable to you. But let's get into what I consider in one of my favorite themes. It's the third point, our secret point of the day, and here it comes. The secret is, the key to winning is the maximum number of products. That's the first thing. And as we mentioned, your 4 books are turned into 7 different products In the maximum number of channels, we're going to take those 7 and we're going to run them through Amazon, the Kindle, the print, the audiobook. We're going to run it through Ingram Spark, Smashwords, Lulu for hardbacks, all of these, and then in the maximum number of formats. So we're going to have in reality, 2 paperback versions, maybe 3 ebook versions, 3 ebooks, Smashwords, Ingram Spark, Kindle, 1 hardback on Lulu, and 2 paperback on KDP print and also on your Ingram Spark print. And by the way, the cool thing that they now have is that Kindle, now they don't need the Mobi format. They actually prefer the EPUB, which means you can use the exact same thing, which you're going to be able to easily get through Uto, assuming you're using a good piece of software to generate these EPUBs, and which you find below in the description, my affiliate link for that. And as you're using this particular program, you're going to be able to use your EPUBs on your Amazon Kindle. You're going to use it on Smashwords and on Ingram Spark. So the exact same file type. You don't need to change a thing. So if you're listening to anything I'm saying, I'm telling you all the secrets. People charge thousands of dollars to do exactly this, and I'm just giving it away. So I hope you appreciate it. If you do, show me some love and hit subscribe. But let's move on to the final thing. Have you started using bundles? If you have not, write no below in the comments. And if you have, write yes below in the comments. And check up above me here for other video answers to your self-publishing questions. Thanks.